Hello, my sleepy friends. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here tonight. It's time to relax, to let your thoughts slow down and drift away. Tonight, I want to tell you a story that begins in darkness and ends in brilliance. This is the life of a star. So get comfortable, sink into your pillow, feel your body grow heavy, and let your mind float among the stars. Take a slow breath in and out, and let's begin. Our story begins in a cold, dark cloud, a vast, quiet nebula filled with gas and dust, floating in the blackness of space. For millions of years, it waits until something stirs. Gravity, gentle at first, but always pulling, slowly drawing the gas and dust together, forming clumps, then knots, and deep inside one of these knots, a spark of warmth appears. The gas falls inward, tighter, hotter, pressing, squeezing, until suddenly a star is born. The very first light bursts out, illuminating the darkness. A newborn star, a tiny sun, burning bright in the coldness of space. It begins its life in what astronomers call a main sequence star. And now, its long journey truly begins. Imagine that something so bright was once just a cloud of dust. For most of its life, a star shines steadily, burning hydrogen deep inside its core, turning it into helium through a process called nuclear fusion. Every second, it releases an enormous amount of energy that travels for millions of years through space to reach us as gentle starlight. This is the star's calmest time, its most peaceful time. For billions of years, it will shine, unwavering, warming planets, perhaps even nurturing life. Some stars live short, bright lives, burning through their fuel in just a few million years. Others, like our sun, take their time, living for billions of years. Isn't that amazing? Our sun has already lived for 4.5 billion years and still has about 5 billion more. Stars are patient beings. They take their time. They do not rush. They simply shine. But nothing lasts forever. Eventually, the star runs low on hydrogen, and when that happens, its heart begins to change. The core contracts, and the outer layers swell outward. The star grows larger and larger until it becomes a red giant, a massive, glowing, crimson orb, so big it might swallow its closest planets. But even now, the star is beautiful, a jewel in the night sky, a fiery rose, blooming in the darkness. It shines like this for a little while before its final transformation. How a star ends its life depends on how big it was. Smaller stars, like our sun, shed their outer layers gently, forming delicate, glowing clouds called planetary nebulae. What's left behind is a tiny, brilliant core called a white dwarf. It no longer burns, but it still glows softly for billions of years until it fades away. But the biggest stars do not go quietly. They end in a spectacular explosion, a supernova, one of the most powerful events in the universe. For a brief moment, they shine brighter than entire galaxies, casting heavy elements, iron, gold, silver, out into space. These elements will one day become part of planets and living things, perhaps even part of you. And sometimes, at the heart of that explosion, something even stranger is born. a neutron star, or a black hole, a place where gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. And so, the star's life ends, but its story continues, because every star gives life to countless others. The cycle never ends. Before we depart ways for tonight, let's linger here for a while, in the quiet nursery where stars are born, because there are so many beautiful secrets hidden here. Would you like to hear them? Just listen and let your mind drift among the clouds of dust and gas as I tell you more about how stars truly begin. Did you know that stars are born in places called stellar nurseries? These are enormous clouds made of gas and dust, so big they can stretch across hundreds of light years. Think about that for a moment. A single cloud, so vast that millions of stars could be born inside it. And inside this cold darkness, gravity begins its gentle work, pulling gas slowly together, forming little knots and then bigger clumps, until deep inside one of these knots, something stirs and a star begins to form. It can take tens of millions of years for a star to truly be born, so long that it makes a human life seem like a single heartbeat. When the core becomes dense enough, the temperature begins to rise and rise until it reaches about 10 million degrees Celsius, so hot that hydrogen atoms begin to fuse and nuclear fusion ignites. And that's the moment the first light bursts into the darkness and a new star takes its first breath. Some of the most famous stellar nurseries can still be seen in the night sky. The Orion Nebula, for example. It's about 1,344 light years away, a place where thousands of stars are still being born right now as we speak. Let's stay here for a while in the golden years of a star, because this is the time when a star is calm, peaceful, and shining bright. Would you like to hear a few more secrets about this beautiful stage of life? Just breathe slowly and listen. Most stars spend almost their entire existence in this quiet phase. We call it the main sequence. And do you know how long that lasts? About 90% of a star's life is spent right here, burning hydrogen, slowly, steadily, deep in its core. Our sun is living its main sequence, life right now. It has been for more than 4.5 billion years, and it still has about 5 billion years to go. Such patience, such grace. Stars never rush. They simply shine. And how do they shine? It all begins with nuclear fusion, tiny hydrogen atoms pressing together, becoming helium, and in the process, releasing an enormous amount of energy, light and warmth that travels for millions of years through empty space before it touches a planet and perhaps warms a life. Every single second, a star like the sun releases more energy than humanity has used in its entire existence. Isn't that incredible? So much power, yet so silent, so gentle, as it glows in the night sky. Even the light we see took time to get here. The sunlight that warms your skin left the sun 8 minutes and 20 seconds ago, and some starlight has traveled for thousands or even millions of years just to reach your eyes. Every time you look up at the stars, you are looking back in time. And here's something beautiful. Stars don't really twinkle, not out there in space. They only twinkle because Earth's atmosphere bends their light. So the next time you see a twinkling star, remember, it's the sky dancing for you, and some stars are enormous, so big that they could fit 1 billion suns inside them. They burn hot and bright, living fast and dying young, while others, small and cool, can shine for trillions of years, far longer than the universe has even existed so far. Now, the stars have lived their lives, burned their fire, and returned their gifts to the universe. And as you lie here, beneath that same sky, remember, every atom in your body came from the heart of a star. You are stardust. You are the universe, looking back at itself. So let that thought carry you away, like a star drifting in space. Feel the warmth of the stars, feel their calm, and let your mind go quiet. You're safe, you're small, but you're part of something infinite. Good night, sleep well, and dream of stars.